Okay, check 1, 2. Can we be heard now? Let's find out if we can be heard. Hello, hello.
Okay, check 1, 2.
Okay, now we can be heard. Still getting used to using this. All right. Hi, my name is Patrick, and good afternoon. I hope you're all having a wonderful day wherever it is in the world that you are. And we're doing another soldering stream today. We are going to pick up where we left off last time. We did this little guy, which does cool little light up LEDs. And we did this little guy here, which does different color light ups depending on how you rotate it. You get different combinations of colors, which you can kind of see there as we change it around. So this time we're going to be doing this model pocket dice kit, which is made by Elenco. They make all kinds of cool little hobbyist things. So let's go ahead and pop it open and see what's inside. We've got a full-on instruction manual that we're going to be going off of here. Whoops. Let's set that down. And then we have a lot of various components in another little baggie here. We can set that other bag to the side for the time being. All right, so we've got all that. So let's set this aside. Let's break all this open here. Oh, there we go. Okay. We've got a number of resistors and even a capacitor in there this time, and then a ton of LEDs. Then we've got some other resistors, another capacitor, a power switch, some toggle switches, and even some little tiny Texas Instrument chips and some other chip that I do not recognize off the top of my head. And we've got our pre-made board ready to go. And last but not least, we have a power adapter for that. Hey, Queen City Q, how's it going? Good for pat hands, good for padding. Very, very funny. Okay, so we got all kinds of little components going on here this time. I'm going to leave these in their bags for the time being. Oh, we've even got MOSFET adapters that we're going to drop in. That's cool. Okay, sweet. And some resistors and capacitors, like I said. I'm just going to set those all right there for now. And then we, like I said, we've got our full-on board right here ready for all the components to be soldered in. So we're going to leave this here. And let's take a look at our instructions and see what we have to do. I'm going to go ahead and turn my, well, I'm going to leave the soldering iron off actually for the moment because I don't necessarily need it yet. Okay. Oh, we've got like, it's a full-on thing. If you're a student, any parts are missing. Okay. PC board, switch slide, battery snaps. It's even got full-on instructions on how to identify the capacitors and their tolerances, which is good. Or the resistors and their tolerances, I'm sorry. We can see that here if you should happen to want to review it for some reason, up at the top of the screen there, as well as identifying a capacitor and how much capacitance it can carry, which is kind of cool. So let's see here. Yeah, we've got, I think, everything necessary. 6 of those, yeah, it looks right. 2 of those, 1 of those, 1 capacitor, 2 diodes, 14 LEDs, and 2 ICs. Okay, cool. PC board and some buttons and some switches. Okay. Circuit description. So let's see here. Dice are, yes, they're cool. It shows the clock function, 2 NAND circuit gates. Oh, that's cool. Informs of an inverter. When the input of one is low, the output will be high. As the high will be low. And then it outputs into all of that, and then the decoder circuit. Okay, so this basically goes over how the whole circuit is built. Really what I want to get to, though, is how do we assemble the whole thing? So let's read that over and take a look here. Conical tip, yes. Turn off when not in use, yes. That's all fine. In the following assembly steps, the components must be installed on the top side unless otherwise indicated. The top legend shows where each component goes. Oh, okay. Interesting. Jumper wires. They want you to use discarded resistor leads for jumper wires. Interesting. So we're going to be using discarded components for this one. Okay. Mount the diode with the band on the same direction as shown in the PC board. Yep. Mount the battery like that. Insert that there. Okay. The notch on the same side. And then all of the numerous LEDs. And then it's got, oh yeah, it's got the full-on schematic of how the whole thing is put together, which I can kind of read. I'm still learning how. For example, this is a switch, this is a diode or a light, LEDs. What else have we got going on here? These are our 2 different chips and then the OR gates hooked up to those. Okay, cool. All right. We're gonna just start putting stuff together. Component lead, soldering iron, solder, boop, 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 boop. Okay, cool. I'm gonna set this up in a spot where I can see it. And we're gonna get started here. And hopefully this will go as well as it can, all things considered. All right, I can see that pretty well where it is. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and set this here. And we're gonna take a look at what we've got going on. Okay. Let's hold this in a direction where I can read everything. I think that would be a great way to start. And let's start with, I guess, resistors. Okay. Let's do all the resistors first. So let's get these components out of the way here, and let's split these resistors out into their different groupings, because I have a bunch of different resistors this time. So they're going to be all kinds of reading going on for these resistors. So let's just pour these out. Come on, come on. Don't break, please. Thank you. And 1 capacitor floating around in there. Okay, cool. We'll discard that to the side for now. And so we've got, this one's brown, green, red, gold. All right, so that resistor is supposed to go into slot resistor 7. Simple components. So the components must be installed on the top side, unless otherwise indicated. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and start dropping components in here, like this. So, all right, there we go. I think that looks okay. This is going to be a lot more complex than my previous 2 projects, so hopefully we will do okay on that. Okay, that's right in there. Cool. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and drop all the resistors in, and then we will solder them. I think that's a good idea. All right, resistor 6 is also brown, red, gold. So that is this one right here. And this is a 1.2 K ohm resistor with a 5% resistance. So this one's going to go right here, brown, red, gold, right? R6. Imagine doing these in the order of the number that it says. That might have been a good idea. It actually looks like it's got a little bit of like corrosion going on these leads, which isn't great, but we'll be okay. Come on. Come on. You can hear my neighbor's pups outside being happy. It's always funny when French bulldogs walk around there. It's very cute. All right. There we go. That one's good. So first one, which is, I'm going to need some tweezers, I'm pretty sure here. So let me get those out. Really quick. This will do. All right, so the first one here is just verifying brown, green, red, gold, and this one is R6, brown, red, red, gold. Okay, so we're all set on those. Those are good. Let's set that down. All right, next resistor. R6, R7, R2. Where's R1? Is there an R1? R1. Yes, R1 is brown, black, yellow, gold. Okay. Brown, black, yellow, gold. That does not show up on any of these. I think it's floating around in this little component kit here. So we're going to pop this open here real quick. I'm going to put these things aside. I've got a push button on-off switch, or even just an actuator. Just says do the thing. Put that in my component library here. And then I've got all of our chips. And these are the things that are actually going to calculate our, and handle the calculation of our randomness on this whole thing. And the pins, you've got transistors in here, and based on what happens, it's going to output different types of signals, which is how it does the randomness of the whole thing. I'll put that right there. And, whoa, this is kind of jammed in there. Let me separate that out. Perfect. This is our on-off switch. Directional momentary switch. And a couple more resistors, and this is a capacitor, I believe. Yeah, we're going to set this one over here. Keep it out of the way. So this, I can't even... Is this a capacitor or resistor? N1. N4148. This is teeny. I can't even read this thing, it's so small. I'm going to set that over here as well, because I don't think that's a resistor. Okay, no other missing parts there. Set that aside, and we've got all of our LEDs there. So this looks like it is also one of these, yeah, N14148. So we're going to set all these over here out of the way so I don't mix them up with the resistors. Because I think that these are actually small, tiny little diodes, which is a completely different use case. So the one I need to find, resistor number 1, is brown, black, yellow, gold. So let's see here. Brown, 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 red, red. It's got a bunch of brown, red, red resistors here, so let's just line all those up. Brown, red, red, gold. Those are black. Brown, black, yellow, gold. I think this will match what I'm looking for. Let me just tilt this up so I can actually see it more easily. Brown, black, yeah, the yellow is barely perceptible on there. It's really, really light. But it is there. So I think that that's going to be the one I'm looking for. Let me tighten this real quick. It's kind of moving around. Okay. Cool. Brown, black, yellow, gold is resistor number 1, which will go right here. Whoops, I think I actually want to bend that down a little further away. There we go. Okay. Cool, right in there. Okie dokie, brown, black, yellow, gold. Resistor is in. Perfect. All right, so resistor 1, now let's move over to resistor number 2, which is right here. And this one is going to be brown, red, red, gold also. We've got a lot of those. Going on. Okay, and right in there. And I really am interested in the actual, like how the actual schematic reads. And I'm going to probably research that more offline later, but because for now we're just assembling this while we're on stream. So brown, red, red, gold for resistor number 2. Resistor number 3 is also brown, red, brown, green, red, gold for resistor number 3. So that's important that I get that correct. Brown, green, red, gold, which indicates that it is a 1.5 as well, mirroring what's on the other side here. So let's go ahead and put this in place. Okay. Brown, green, red, gold into resistor number 3. Come on. There you go. Okay. And I was thinking about, after I finish this kit, I don't have any other pressing soldering projects at this time. One thing I was considering getting is that this same manufacturer also makes a radio kit, which would be kind of cool to put together. And then you can capture FM or AM radio stations with it, which I think would be pretty cool to do. 3, okay. Number 4, 5, let's see, 4, 5, 8, and 9. 4, 5, 8, and 9 are all the exact same brown, red, red, gold resistors. So that is going to wrap up the rest of our resistors here. So let's go ahead and drop all 4 of these in place. Really quick here. No problemo. And while I'm doing these last few, let me go ahead and turn my soldering iron on so it can heat up. Brown, red, red, gold as well. Okie dokie. Red, red, gold, all in the place where it's supposed to be. Okay, there we go. Let's just shift that like that. Perfect. Okay. 2, 3, number 3 here, right into that nice little spot. And number 4, brown, red, red, gold as well. All right. And then I'm going to go through and review all of these just to make sure that I've put the resistors in the correct places, because the last thing I want to do is have to desolder things, which is not very fun to do it all. Okay, last one there. Great. So we're going to go from resistor number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to double check all of those resistors. How's this? This is how to make a bomb detonator, right? No. That is not what this is for. I cannot tell you how to do that. That would be illegal. I will, no, that's a big no-no. Okay, I got my solder ready to go here. Get that over here and put this on the side there. Kaboom. Queen, I did message you earlier to see if you were interested in playing some APEC Legends, but I think you were busy. So we will play another time. I am actually probably going to be free for a little bit after this stream if you wanted to play or learn to play. So let me know. Oh yeah, let's put this capacitor over here so I don't misplace it. All right. Was M in bed? Oh, good. I'm glad you're resting. That is also important. All right, resistor number 1 is right there and is brown, black, yellow, gold. So that one's good. Resistor number 2. There it is. Brown, red, red, gold. We're good there. Resistor number 3 is brown, green, red, gold, which it is. 4 and 5 are all brown, red, red, gold, which they are. Number 6 is also brown, red, red, gold. Just verifying that on my diagram. Yep. Number 7 is brown, green, red, gold, which it is. And number 8 and 9 are both brown, red, red, gold. Okay, we're all set there. Let's go ahead and flip this over and get it soldered. Okay. The underside of this is much more interesting because you can actually see the traces. And a trace is this sort of metal like running thing that you can see moving around. This is where the electrical current will flow for every single one of these. So electrical current passing from here will pass through here, will pass, and along all of these lines of the resistors. All right, let's go ahead and get you on. And let's go ahead and get you tinned. I'll clean my thing here real quick and tin the tip. Yeah, looking good. All right. Beautiful. I'll just put a teeny bit on there. And we'll get started. Oh, I need a little more length on my... There we go. Perfect. All right, let's get going. Heat you up and have some solder, friend. Okay. Looking good. Come on. Okay, that one's probably a little too much. I'll probably fix that later. All right, moving right along. Okay, good. Okay, awesome. First 4 joints are done. Moving steady, steady, steady. Let me move this kind of over. No, actually, I think this is okay where it is. Just got to make sure I have enough, and I don't get my own cables bent out of shape here. Okay, definitely need to clean the tip after those first few. So let's do that real quick. There we go. All right, let's put a little bit on there. And let's get to work. Okay. Wetting those tips and getting that solder to flow. Come on. Beautiful. All right. I'm just moving right along here. Boom. Oh, that one didn't do so hot. Let's reheat that, and there we go. Okay. Okay. Teeny bit on there. Okay, good. That one doesn't look so hot either. It's a little weird. Let's clean that really quick. I'm a-learning. That's how we do. Okay. This time I'm not tinning the tip because I just want to see if the heat transfer is going to occur well or poorly without that tinned tip. All right. Get in there, good. Okay. Yeah, that one definitely looks like a cold joint right there, so I'm probably going to have to clean that one out. We'll do that in a little bit here. I'm going to finish the rest of these first. Okay. Nice capillary action going on there. That one also doesn't look so great. Need to... I think after like 2 or 3 of these, I need to stop and retin. It seems to just be the course of action to take. Because that one and that one aren't so great. And I think it's because the... Yeah. Oh, there goes my light. Back on with you. Thank you. Okie dokie. That one and that one we're probably going to need to redo, so let's see here. A little bit on you, and get right on there. And just flow, please. Thank you. Okay, great. 4 more to go. And this is why we practice, you know, why we're doing this, so that we can figure out what we're doing wrong, and then we can fix it later. We know that's definitely not heating the pad. Come on. There we go. All right. Now let's really get in there and get it good. Okay. Boom, please. Thank you. Good. Okay, time to clean. Okay, let's get some more solder ready to go. Let's straighten this. There we go. A little easier to work with when it's like that. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Oh, I think that... Okay, no, it didn't. That's good. All right, last one. Okay, we're all set. So let's take a look at these two joints that don't look so great. Go ahead and turn my fan off here. Just want to take a closer look here because I'm worried about how those joints look specifically. So let me take this and I'm just going to rotate it around here so that I can see them well. Okay, let's see here. Up there. Yeah, those two don't look so hot. So I'm going to try and clean those up a bit. See what we can do about that. Hey, Bat Duck, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day. We're going to take some rosin here, and we're going to take some of our braid, but I actually need to cut off the end here because we used a bit of this last time, and we don't want to reuse the part that has already been used. So we're just going to snip it right off here, just like that. Put it over here for spare. And what I read after last time, where I didn't have such a great time cleaning things, was that you should dip the wick, or the solder wick, into the paste so that it gets a good retention flow. So I'm going to actually take the end of this and just dip it in there like that so we get some good flow from the solder back into the wick. So we're going to use that right here now. And we're going to redo two of the joints here. And those two joints are going to be this one right here and this one right here. And we're going to start with this one right here. So to do this, I'm going to put this down so I don't put a hole in my wall with solder. I'm going to hold this against this and we're going to heat it up and let it just kind of absorb that solder without sticking, hopefully. I want that capillary action to go. Come on now. It's doing something. Maybe we can reflow this using the... Yeah, no, it's just going to get worse. Come on. Now it's sticking, which is what I was afraid of. Okay. This is the part that I'm still learning how to do well, so please bear with me as we get that down. So let's clip this on here too so that it has some more resistance when I push. And we will redip that in there. And hopefully we'll get a bit better flow this time. There it goes. Now it's really kind of... Kind of? Not really? I mean, it's definitely heating up, but it's not really picking up the solder. There! For some reason now it's working. Okay. That was strange. I don't know why. Maybe the solder wasn't getting hot enough underneath. I've just about cleaned that out, though, so let's try and finish this up, heat that, and then heat the wick over it. Okay. That looks mostly clean at this point. So we'll try and re-solder this whole joint here. And I think that'll be much happier once we've done that. All right. So we're going to do this really quick. Clean my soldering iron. Okie dokie. And let's get some heat in here, shall we? Come on. There we go. Okay, much cleaner. I think that's way better than it was. Very cool. And then we want to clean up this second one. So before we do that, we're going to cut off the bit that we use. So we have about this much that we've utilized at this point. So we're just going to snip that off. It has done its job. And get that out of the way there. So we'll take that and we'll put it over here with the rest of the discarded soldering wick. So is this something you were always interested in doing? Yes, it is. And it's something that I had been wanting to learn for some time now. And so I just decided to pick up, well, I should rephrase. Some friends of mine got me this soldering iron that I have, which is kind of above my whole thing here. I might be able to, I don't think I can move my camera at the moment. I'll try and show it later. But my soldering iron's sitting off on the right side over here. And it's a basic Kesker T12 and uses Hakko tips. And then I got the rest of this stuff thanks to everybody here on the stream who has supported it. Pretty much everything that I've gotten here was purchased using funds from the stream. And people who have been who've been subscribing with Twitch Prime or otherwise. So that is how this has been possible, to be quite frank. Okay, let's get this in here really. Oh, wait, again, I'm always forgetting to turn off the fan. So, there we go. We're just going to go in here and we're going to heat this. And we're going to heat this with it and let that whole thing pick it up, please, like you're supposed to. Yes, kind of. Not really. You're sticking. I wish you wouldn't. Come on. Come on, there you go. There we go. Okay, that worked really well that time. Okay, cool. So we've cleaned that up. And now we can go back in and resolder it. So I'm going to go ahead and close up my rosin here because I don't need it anymore. I'm just going to set it aside. I don't need it for the time being. And we're going to go ahead and resolder this one right here. I've had soldering iron, but for different purposes. It was to melt holes in bottles, because just cutting holes make sharp edges that I didn't want. I hear you. It has many uses, not just for soldering. You can use a soldering iron for all kinds of cool things, I have been told. So they are a multi-purpose tool, for sure. Clean the tip. Let's tin that a teeny bit there. Okay. And let's get some solder going. Okay, that looks way cleaner than it did. Cool. All right, so we're done with that part. I need to get some of this rosin, some of this rosin off of here. So we're gonna clean that up really quick. I've got some Q-tips here and I've got my handy dandy alcohol. Also changed the color of an LED keychain light for a costume project. Very cool. This, I don't think you were here earlier. This is the first project that I did on stream, which was last week. It's just a simple little kit that lights up some fun LEDs when you press the buttons. And then this other one over here is a thing that lights up this tricolor LED, and you can rotate the things at the bottom, the pots, in order to change the color of the LED. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of liquid flux, or not liquid flux, we're going to put some of that on there. And we're just going to clean up this extra rosin that we don't really need really quick. And get that off of there, because it's just gumming up the works. to put it lightly. It's going to get all over the darn place. And you don't want to touch this stuff at home, kids, just so you know. We're going to use some of that IPA and clean that junk up. There we go. I've been interested in like wearable LED fashion as a potential thing that might be cool or fun to do a project of. So I'm considering doing something like that in the future. All right, then we can go ahead and start, I think, clipping all of these leads. Let me just see if there's anything else I want to really clean. Yeah, the rosin's kind of all over the place, but I'll go back and I'll really clean that up later. It'll get partially used as I attach more things. Whoa! It also really pooled on the bottom here. Let's go ahead and clean this surface up because I really don't want that pooled there at all. That's not so great. Got more of my stuff here. My roomie has lots of that stuff. LED activated light or LED wear kind of stuff. That sounds really cool, Queen. I used to have one where, depending on the strength of Wi-Fi signals around you, not symbols, it would essentially show this cool little thing where a antenna symbol would light up depending on whether or not there were any strong Wi-Fi symbols around you. And I've wanted to recreate that. I thought it'd be kind of cool to do. Okay, there we go. Let's get rid of that in my disposal baggie. Okay, we're good. All right, so our resistors are done. So we're gonna go in now, and that looks pretty good to me. And we're gonna clip all of our excess leads off. So let's go ahead and clip in over here so we're not jumping all over the place. And let's clip some leads, woohoo. Okay. And it said to save these, so I'm gonna set them aside to be used later. As they said, you just want to pass some leads across some of this stuff. No problem. Okay. Looks like I could have clipped that closer. I'll go do that later. It's kind of hard to see some of this at this angle. There we go. Okay. Excuse me. 1, a 2, a 3. Is good. And a 4. All right. Same thing over here. I really need to get some better flush cuts, though. I might pick some of those up soon. Because these cheap things that I have are not great for this particular purpose. Okay. Come on. Okay, and 4. Come on, come off my, get off. Cut that out. All right, all done there. So our resistors are all done. What I think I may do now is go ahead and do the jumper wires, of which there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like there's 6 jumper wires I need to do. So I may just go ahead and do the jumpers, just so I can get them out of the way. Excuse me. Some of these are really long jumpers, though. I'm not so sure about some of this. So our jumpers are, number 1 is right here. Number 2 is this long one right in the middle here. Then 3, number 4 is short, and then number 5 and 6, which are also not very long. So let's try and get The jumper 1 and 2 I'm pretty good, but it's this long jumper, or jumper 1 and 3 I'm pretty good. There's no jumper number 2 that I'm not so sure. I've got something long enough to go in there, because this is the longest lead that I cut so far. And that definitely doesn't look long enough. I do have some wire sitting over here that I can kind of requisition for this purpose. It's not great. But maybe I can, yeah, let's try and use some of this. It's probably too high gauge for the purpose of what I'm trying to do. So if we cut that, we just kind of make a length here. And then this should be long enough easily, so I can go ahead and snip off some ends here. I believe this is, what gauge is this again? 18, which is way overkill for this. So we're going to strip this solid stranded 18 gauge. Actually, we can make some marks here, exactly where I need to strip it. Right there and right there should do. A little long, we can probably go just slightly shorter. If we line that up with there, a little more like right. Yeah, right there. Okay, I'm going to strip the wire there. 18 gauge. Goes right there. Come on. These things never quite do the job that I want them to, as well as I would like them to. Okay, there we go. And then the other side right here. Okay. Right. Okie dokie, come on. All the way off. There we go. So this is way overkill for this whole thing, but we're just gonna try and make it work. It probably won't even fit through. Actually, what I could probably do, if I was smart, and some might actually claim that I have some intelligence of some type, maybe. This is about the same thickness, one of these single copper strands, as this whole thing, so I'm just gonna try and pull one of these single strands out. And we could just probably do this and just, no, maybe 2 strands braided together might be safer. Let's try for that instead. I am just kind of making this up as I go at this point because I didn't have something that fits that jumper very well. And I might get some leads from the LEDs. Actually, you know what? Let's sit tight on that. I know I just spent like the past 5 minutes working at this, but I'm going to set that aside. For the time being, we're going to do the shorter jumpers first, and then we'll come back and see if we get more tools that we can use for this specific purpose. So let's do those shorter jumpers first. So I'm going to just take this little dude here, and we're going to jumper number 1. And jumper number 1, please. Come on. There we go. Whoops. Tiny, tiny little components, hard as heck to handle. I think this is actually going to fit better on this jumper over here than it did on the one that I tried to put it in. Come on. Go in your home. You want to be in your home, friend. Okay, good. That kind of works. All right, yeah, that's going to do as a jumper for that one. And we'll do another one here real quick. Actually, I might just do this. And then bend over maybe. Okay, yeah, that kind of works. And then right there should be the second bend. Hey, Games with Mind, how are you doing? Hope you're having a great day wherever in the world you are. Okay, let's just line that up real quick there. And right about there, we're going to bend you over on the outside, like that. Perfect. This is much more delicate work than the first one, for sure. Many more tricksy parts to do with. Come on, go there. Okay, perfect. There we go. Okay, so we got those two jumpers in, okay. Well, good night. What are you building? I am putting together a kit by Elenco, which is going to eventually roll 6-sided dice. We'll have our 7 LEDs here and 7 LEDs here. You'll press a button here and it will basically calculate or it will randomly choose 2 6-sided die numbers eventually once it's all put together. And we are in the process, we just put all the resistors on and I'm in the process of adding the jumpers to the board at the moment. And I want to just flip this upward a little bit so that I can bend these pins out on the bottom so that I can, actually I want to hold it against the board while I bend the pins so that it doesn't freak out on me. There we go. Okay, same thing with this other one. As a note, whenever you're handling these types of things, always thoroughly wash your hands afterwards. You do not want yucky things getting on other things that you touch afterwards. And this is, there we go. Here's something that I built last week. It's just a simple little kit that blinks when you press the buttons. And then I have another thing over here, but I want to keep working on this, so I'm going to try and get it done. All right, so we have these two jumpers done. We're going to do this one, and we're going to leave this one for later because I'm thinking that I will have better pieces for that. So we're going to give this a try here really quick. All right, that's good. I'm just going to drop that in there for jumper number 1. If I can see things well enough. My eyesight is going. I'm so old. Okie dokie. And then we're going to bend that down right there. And that jumper should just go right in with very few issues. Come on. There we go. All right. Mini traffic light. Yeah, except that the colors are red, green, blue instead of red, yellow, green, as they should be. That is an interesting question that often pops up that I've seen in Trivial Pursuit, which is, what order are the lights on a stoplight from top to bottom? Do you know? Do you remember? Without looking it up on the internet. Do you actually know? Because I can't remember off the top of my head, to be completely honest. Okay, let's go ahead and do this other jumper. Bend that down there. Drop that right in there. Perfect. And I'm going to have to kind of left hand this one to line it up well. All right, right there. And that should bend down. I think some nations have blue lights. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I should clarify that in the United States, it is red, yellow, green. Okay, let's just get in there real quick. Okay, those jumpers look pretty good to me. Let's flatten this out just a tiny bit here. And then we'll bend those pins out on the back side of the board. Okay, we're all done with adding these jumpers. Let's go ahead and get soldering. Flip the whole thing over. And hold still. All right, and our jumpers are up here, here, and here. So let me turn my fan on. And we'll get to soldering right now. I'm gonna tin the tip up a little bit as we do. Okay, and yeah, I want to clean and re-tin that quick here. No, come on. Clean off, please. There we go. All right, that looks better. Okay, and we're going to apply this heat right here. And that's a good joint as I've seen. Okay, and let's do this joint right here. Okay, looks good. We'll do this one over here. I don't think the pad heated very well on that one, but it looks okay now. All right. Get some heat in on this really quick. Come on. All right. Looks good. Okay, and then this one right here. Oh, whoops. Whatever. Yeah. That one's not so great. We'll make do. Okay, last two over here. I'll get some more of my solder off the roll here. There you go. Heat it on up. Yeah. Okay, that's solid. And last one over here. Okay, we are good. Okay, so that is all of our joints. There, and those two there. Let's go ahead and clip those really quick. Just doing that so that if it bounces up and hits my hand, it doesn't go flying in my face, which that one definitely did do because it's tiny. Okay, there we go. And this is the one that kind of, oh wait, I've still got one here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that one's okay. Definitely not great. Okay, and then last one right here. Okay, so that's all the leads done. Let's take a look here. I'm just looking at this at a different angle. I would really prefer if that one were slightly more off to the side. So I'm going to try and put a teeny bit of rosin on that and clean it up here. Excuse me. Okay. Just a little bit of rosin on that, and we'll try and clean that up really quick here. I'm going to put a teeny bit of solder on my flow tip there, and we're just going to reflow that. Much better. Much, much better. Perfect. Okay, cool. And that indicates that it is time to turn my overhead back on because it auto-offs every now and then. Okay, great. Next components. Let's take a look at what we've got going on here. Let's go ahead and do this big power switch thing. Actually, let me think here. Let's do the smaller components. So we're going to do these diodes and the capacitor. And I just need to verify the 1 nanofarad 103 capacitor. Does this have an orientation? Okay, this is the capacitor. And I'm gonna, so this is the capacitor that we're gonna be adding. It's just got a little 103 on it. And the purpose of a capacitor is to more or less regulate the electrical energy flowing through a circuit. So I'm just gonna back up a few steps really quick here and make sure that the capacitor goes in the correct orientation. Ceramic disc. Electrode positive and negative side, the negative side. All right. With the packaging, by stripe with the minus signs also. All right. I don't think we have resistor, capacitor, LED, yeah. There's only one capacitor. Ceramic disc capacitor. There's no polarity on this capacitor, so I am guessing that it doesn't matter. And I'm hoping I'm correct on that because I really don't want to light this thing up if the capacitor is improperly put on. C1 is where it's supposed to go. And I don't see any particular orientation or information with regards to that. Oh, I missed a jumper. What do you know? Funny how that works sometimes. All right, let's put my guide back on its handy dandy little makeshift stand that I'm using, and I missed a jumper right there, jumper number 3. So we're going to take pause and we're going to do that jumper really quick, and then we're going to move on to this capacitor. Actually, nah, we're going to move on. We're just going to do the capacitor first. So this little ceramic disc capacitor just goes right in here. Nothing super crazy going on. It doesn't appear to have any negative or positive, so we're just going to slot it in and call it good. Try and get it as close to the board as possible so it doesn't wiggle around, but we don't want to break it on accident. So there we go. I think that will do nicely. All right. So we've got our capacitor there. Looks pretty good to me. And we'll go ahead and solder the capacitor in place. Oops. Stay put, please. Thank you. Right. I didn't heat the, yeah, hold on. Okay. Next, some more solder. There we go. Yeah, that made a bit of a cold joint right there. Not great. We're gonna have to redo that one. But that's why we practice, so that we can learn, like I keep saying. All right, let's go ahead and snip off a little bit of excess that we have here that we've used. Come on, there we go. get our rosin. That puppy. Getting better at this. Look at that, all clean. All right, let's redo this. Still, I'm going to heat it and come in from this angle because I think it'll just wet better if I do. Yeah, there we go. Much, much better. All right. Okay, now we just need to snip these leads off. Capacitor right there and right. Oh, that one flying a little bit. There it is. Just jumped over here next to the rest of my soldering braid. Okay, capacitor's done. Next up, we've got some diodes. So let's see about these diodes. D1516 and 1N4148. See figure C. Mount the diode with the band in the same direction shown on the PC. Okay, so and I've got one resistors, B1, slide switch, jumper wire, 1N4001. Okay. That's going to be D19, I think. So let's double check this. One and 4001. Okay, this is the diode that's going to go there, and it goes in the direction as indicated on the thing. So this is going to delta 19. Hey, how's it going, Cosmic Voyager X? How's it going? Thank you so much also for the follow, Games of the Mind. Sorry, I was very absorbed in what I was doing and did not catch that on my notifications until just now. So thank you for the follow. We're gonna bend this, and this diode goes into D19, the 1N4001. Right there, like that. Right, and it says that the little line on it goes as in the orientation on the board, which it is doing. Come on. There we go. Just want you to get a little bit closer there, please. Kind of, sort of, maybe pretty, please. Okay, there we go. That should stay in place now. All right, so that's one diode, and then we have these four diodes, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So let's see here. 15 and 16. I've opened 3 laptops to try and repair soldering and made it worse every time. It was a mess. Oh dear. Need to place a USB port on an external drive. I have not tried that before, but I'm hoping to get up to that level. Right now I'm still learning some very basic kits that I've got going on here. So we've got our 4 diodes right here. Okay, there we go. And there is a line on them, and I'm just going to hold this up to my magnifying glass. But what I need to solder is tiny. This is fairly large, I guess. I just need to be able to read it with my really bad eyes. All right, this is 1N4148. 4148. Okay, yeah, that matches. So we're good. All right, so all of these need to be oriented such that the line on the left-hand side lines up with the line on the board here. So we're going to do that really quick, just like so, with these 4 diodes that are going into place. All right, that one's a little bit closer to the board, please. Thank you. Bend out your leads. Okay, that's one. The feet on the USB connector are so close together. I have not done USB connectors yet, but I imagine that, yeah, that's just not a fun thing to do at all. All right, let's get this through these vias. Okay, and get a little closer to the board, please. Thank you. Come on. All right, those look good. 2 more to go. Okie dokie. Right about there. And right in there. Diodes in the correct orientation. Yes, they are. Okay, we want to pull you through so that you kind of line up how I would like you to, please. Thank you. Okay, all set there. Last diode. And if anybody could, and I haven't done the research on this yet, but if anybody here knows what the purpose of a diode is, I would love to be educated as to exactly what it is that they do. As I know that there are resistors, there are capacitors, there are transistors, and then I've got these diodes, but I have no clue what purpose they fulfill, or what they, how they function in an electrical circuit. Diode only lets current flow through in one direction. Oh, okay, so it's like a, well, I don't even know what I would equivocate it to, but got it. Thank you so much for the information, Cosmic Voyager. I'm always grateful to learn more as we go along. So we've got our 5 diodes, 2 here, and 1 up here. And their orientation is correct based on where these black marks are on this one and the white mark is on the bottom of this one. So we're going to flip this over and we're going to go ahead and solder these in place. Okie dokie. Looks good to me. Let me get some more of my solder off the spool here so it's ready to go. And we're going to clean you a bit. Yeah, just a little more there. Perfect. My sponge is escaping from its hidey hole. Okay, there we go. And we're going to tin the tip just a teeny bit here to give us some better heat flow. And we're going to get right on it. So let's heat you up, and then we're going to get solder flow, please. Come on, heat up. There we go. Okay, that one's good. And we're going to clean that. And get some heat flow on this. Come on. There we go. Okay. Come on. Sometimes the components, it feels like, don't heat up how I want them to. And I'm worried that I damaged them by holding against the board for so long. So let me reorient. A diode can turn in one direction, zero resistance and high resistance in the other. Got it. Yeah, you can see where I was etching the board a teeny bit there from not too much heat too long instead of in and done on that component. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, one more. Okay, great. All right, that's 4. Those look pretty okay. There we go. That's a good one. Getting good wetting action going on there. Okay, perfect. Okie dokie, one more. Okay, let's go ahead and clean that because it was starting to get a little bit of a solder drip off of it. Okay. All right, now this biggin over here will be a little interesting. Let's go, warm up please, thank you. Yes, 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 come on. Okay, good. Yeah, that's clean. I'm gonna get around Apple's planned obsolescence and replace surface mount RAM and an SSD in a MacBook. Yeah, I really am unhappy. Ball grid array. So what is a ball grid array? Is that just a tiny little, kind of like this, or something completely different? No, no, no. There we go. Okay. Gotta get some sleep later, everyone. Thanks so much for stopping by, Games to the Mind. Thank you again for the follow, and I hope you have a great bit of rest. All right, so that's all done with that part. I'm just gonna take a look at these joints really quick and make sure that all of them look okay, and they do. Don't see any problems or cold joints anywhere. So we're gonna go ahead and cut these off. All right. Might be able to use these larger ones for the jumper in the middle there. We'll see. Right. I'm just gonna have to. Can't do this upside down, sorry. But I'm not damaging those leads with this clip thing here. All right. It's a flat surface mount chip with a grid of solder balls under it that melts with a heat gun. Okay. Solids to the matching grid of contacts on a circuit board. Okay, great. All right. Okay, that's all set. So what are we going to do next? We've got our diodes in place. We've got our one capacitor in place. It looks like we can do the, whatever component is in S2, the slide switch. We've got our battery things. I want to do the battery last because that's got a whole wire attached to it that I don't want to deal with. What is that? Why is there? Oh, that's just there as an extra something. Okay. We can install the slide switch. Actually, yeah, this thing is huge and I don't really want to deal with that at the moment. This thing is also, excuse me, kind of big. Excuse me again. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and start with these guys. I'm going to put our little adapters on for all of our chipsets here. Oh, this has got fewer pins than, oh wait, hold on. One of these is smaller than the others. IC1, IC2, and IC3. IC3 is a 16 pin. IC1 is a 14 pin and IC2 is a 16 pin. Okay, this one's going to go here then, because that's the only place it can go. Yeah, come on. Nice and on there, please. Thank you very much. Okay. We're just going to flip this over real quick here. And I'm going to bend one of these pins outward ever so slightly just to try and get it to hold in place while we work on it. Okay, there we go. That should keep it from falling off, I hope. Cool. I'm going to flip this over this way so that we can work from this angle. And we're going to solder all those pins in place. Okay. Sorry. BGA allows many more contacts that just pins around the end of a chip. Okay, got it. That makes sense, because then if you had stuff under the chip, instead of just the edges, you could set the whole thing down and then heat it, and it would, yeah, that makes complete and total sense. Ball grid array. Learn something new every single day. All right, there we go. I might... No, I think we're good. We can get started. Okay. Excellent soldering iron. And what are we making? Hello, anti-shatter. We are assembling a kit that is going to do some D6 rolling for us, and I'll show you in a little bit here. I just want to get this next section done. So please pardon me while I work on this part and get it out of the way. I need solder skill badly. You can get tips for your soldering iron if you ruin them. I'm doing this naked eye right now. Am I doing this naked eye? Yes, I am. I do have a magnifying glass that I can use, but it's kind of gets in the way of me being able to really see what I'm doing, so I'm just doing it naked eye at the moment. Yeah. Okay. Easier in person. That's not too small. No, it's actually fairly large. It just looks small because it's far away from the camera. And I can't get too much closer, unfortunately, or else I'm not going to be able to see what I'm working on. There we go. Okay, that's starting to... Okay, that one's all mounted. Your stream thumbnail, I thought the smoke absorber was a mini arcade cabinet. I thought you were building one. Oh, I would love to put something like that together. I actually do have a Raspberry Pi sitting above me. And yes, I thank you for that. I am being careful not to burn the board. And I do have a question maybe somebody can answer. I found that unless I tin the tip first, I'm having some problems with heat transfer. So maybe the tip that I'm using isn't great for this. Okay, yeah, those all look pretty okay to me. Or the temperature isn't hot enough. I worry that I'm going to make the temperature too hot and then really, you know, just things wouldn't be good at all. Raspberry Pi, why not pumpkin? Because they don't make pumpkin pie computers, Queen. What solder, what temp? I am using a Kester 6040 solder, which you can now see here really quick. If I tilt that, maybe it's readable. And it is a leaded solder. And then I have my soldering iron set to 350C at the moment. I was told that the solder melts at only like 180 something. And from what I was reading online, 300 to 400C seemed good. 400 seemed too hot to me. Whereas 350 seemed like a good kind of in-between. And as long as I pre-tin the tip, it seems to transfer the heat pretty darn well. But if I don't pre-tin the tip, then it doesn't like it as much. So these all, I'm just going to run these, run this down here really quick. Let me get some flux on this. Some rosin, rather. What makes the solder flow? Is the leaded solder correct for this application? Destroy the board if not. Yes, it's intended for electronics. Essentially. No circuit boards used. I'm aware of that fact. And there seems to be some various thoughts in the community around that, that you can or shouldn't do use lead, don't use leaded solder. Leaded solder is easier to work with, harder to work with. It's toxic. No, it isn't, as long as you... I've been reading all kinds of things, and so I'm not exactly certain. Everyone switched off leaded. You can just use silver. Duly noted, and I may do that in the future. For now, I'm just working with what I have. We're just going to do a quick pass of all this. I'm putting some Rosin Flux on it so that it will reflow all of these joints just to make it a little bit cleaner. Really quick here. Okay. I didn't tell that a big fish. Yeah, to strip all the leaded solder out. Yeah, and ROHS, I believe is what it's called, is the thing where they chose to do that. And it's, you know, good. It just, from what I heard and what I was reading online, it was a good idea to start with leaded for learning projects. And then you can decide to rotate out to non-leaded solder in the future, which I may do. So I'm just going to reflow these joints real quick, just to make it a little cleaner. No, don't bridge, please. Please don't bridge. You bridged. You totally bridged. We're going to have to go back and clean that up. All right. Like, I understand the physics. I watch it happen, but I don't know what happens. What makes solder flow to the terminals and off the plastic? So it has to do with how the flux in the solder works, is my understanding of it. We're going to have to fix that really quick. Oh, hold on. And all the solder jumps into place. Yeah, it essentially, and again, this is my understanding. I could be mistaken. So if anybody knows better, I am more than happy to learn better. Is that the rosin causes the solder to chemically bond to the exposed metal, the flux essentially. And yeah, I applied flux this time, which is why it's flowing a lot better. I don't have a no clean flux, and I wanted to pick some up, but it's hard to get it to ship to Hawaii. So I've been just dealing with what I have on hand. So let's go ahead and do this, please. Yes, yes. Clean up, clean up, clean up. Get rid of the bridge. There we go. That looks much, much better, I think. Cool. And I'll clean this up a little later with a bit of, oops, let's see. Now it's doing the thing. There got to be a way for us to magic it there. Do you all have a learned soldering in high school too? No. I mean, my understanding is that some places have that as an option. I did not. I did mechanical drawing in high school, which was kind of cool with CAD programming, or not programming, but CAD drawings. So that was its own thing. Oops. There we go. No, but I modded Xboxes, so I installed the chips. Sold modded Xboxes, got it. Yeah, that was a big thing. I remember modded like PlayStation 1s and that kind of stuff way back in the day. Okay, that looks really clean. All right, we're going to stop there before I just go overkill with all this stuff and don't really get anything done. All right, so we've got our first mounted chipset done. That looks way cleaner than it was, so I am satisfied with that. Yeah, that's way better. Okay. And we're going to clean up a little bit of this real quick, just with our Q-tip here to get it off and out of the way of the board. Because I put a lot on and I didn't use it all. And we'll go over this much later with a full-on like toothbrush and necessary things later. I think solder prefers to stick to copper than the board. That's correct. And hello, Destiny. How are you doing? I think you're soldering one at a time. See people doing the one sweep in a few seconds. Yes, that's an advanced technique that I have not gotten a hold of yet. I would like to get there eventually. But for now, I'm just doing this in a very slow, methodical sort of manner, so to speak. Okay. So we got these other dip packages. We're going to go ahead and get this one installed here, like that. Really quick. And then we're going to install this one over here. We need to make sure that the little notch lines up with the notch on the image of the board. The board material is specifically designed to not allow solder to stick. There you go. All right, let's flip this over, and I don't think these are going to have a risk of falling out, so we're just going to solder one pin in place really quick, and I'm going to put a little bit of rosin on here just to make it easier, because it's as noted, it does seem to make it flow a little better, the heat flow, and then stick otherwise. All right, so let's go ahead and turn our fan back on, and let's get to soldering. Oops, that did not do what I intended. Hold on a sec. All right, we're gonna have to just get rid of that. Okay, that one's pinned in. Let's do this one real quick. Okay, and now we're just going to go down the row. It's a little harder to do from this angle, so let me move this and change the angle of the board, because I think it'll be easier if I can do this from a top down. Whoops, please don't fall down. Whoa, there you go. Hold on there, please. There we go. All right, much easier from this angle to do this sort of thing. And as I've stated already, I am learning to do this, so I welcome input and education on things that I can do better, things that I can change, things that would make it easier for me to do this. Because all of this is new to me, and I do not pretend to be an expert or particularly good at this in any way whatsoever. I just happen to be trying as I go. Okay, that's a couple there. Pro tip, don't put your hand on the hot side. Yes, just that is an amazing pro tip, just like the pro tips that I sometimes give, which are basically, don't die. In order to win the game, don't die. That seems like a great idea, Queen. Thank you so much. Lol. Okay, that one's done. We so smart. We smartest. We the smartest of them all. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't enough heat transfer. There we go. All right. Okay, yeah, that's a little cold. We're gonna need to redo that joint with some rosin flux. Okay. All right, moving right along. Okay, that entire dip is done, and like I said, we need to redo the top one. But we're going to go back and do that in a few minutes here. How am I doing on time? Okay, I think we can finish this in the next half hour if we just keep going. And maybe we'll go another little bit over time. The only problem we're going to have is that I need to keep an eye on my phone's camera battery, so I might have to step away and go get a power plug for that really quick. Just so that we don't... Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, that was a bit of a not so great joint. We esports and games, soldering, and life. Yeah, that's not adhering very well. We'll have to put some rosin on that and clean it up. Come on, why are you not taking the heat? There we go. Okay, I need some more of this. Okay. Clean that. Moving right along. All right. Next. Flux, derived from Latin meaning flow. Fluxus, meaning to flow. Okay. I believe it. That flux helps this flow. Yeah, that's starting to... Okay. That joint right there isn't great. We're going to have to clean that buddy up. Yeah. Okay, there we go. A little better. All right, last one here. No, I didn't pretend. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to go back and we're going to clean some of these up really quick. Namely, this one right here. This one right up here. And that one right there. I think need some cleaning. That one right there also needs a little love. These all look pretty good. Okay. So we're just going to reflow this really quick by heating it and letting the flux do its work. Okay. Much cleaner. Yeah, that one's still a little... Okay, there we go. Okay. No, I think we're good. Without like a no clean flux, I can't really just go nuts on this, so we're kind of limited in some respects. Okay, let's take a look here at how this looks. I don't see any bridges, and then everything looks like it's a good solder joint, so I think we're all set on that. That one doesn't look great though. Let's see if I can't clean that up really quick. Come on. Always doing the thing. There we go. Flux comes in many forms. I do not know which to use. Solid and liquid and pens. I've used liquid before, have not used solid. So this is a solid rosin flux. Here's, I've got the label there for you. And this flux is messy. As you can see, it leaves all this residue on the board, and it kind of gets all over the place and isn't great, but it does what it's supposed to. It helps the solder to flow into and make a chemical bond. Liquid flux I've seen used, the no clean flux, and you spray it on there, and when it works, it heats and it disappears. It doesn't leave any residue behind, which is definitely preferred for many things. And then the flux pens, as far as I know, are the same as the liquid flux, the no clean flux items. They just come in a pen form. And that I can order, so I might try and get some of that instead in the future here. Let's go ahead and clean this joint really quick. That's better. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's all set. We've got our processor packages in, our cool little guys here ready to go. And so, next step is going to be, let's go ahead and get this jumper in if we can. Do I have something long enough for that? I don't. We can do these LEDs, so let's get started on the LEDs. And LEDs have an anode and a cathode. To master control of the flow solder, one needs to know the best combination of solder, flux, temperature, and iron placement. Yeah, for sure. And And I've got the temperature iron placement parts down, but the flux part I'm still working on. And it should be noted, again, that the solder itself has flux in it. It is a flux cord, or rosin cord solder. So it's not like there's no flux going on. Okay. If anybody happens to remember which side is the anode and cathode, I believe that the cathode is the positive, the anode is the short negative. And from there, I'm just going to look at this really quick so I can verify. LEDs. LEDs, mount them flush. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, okay. Okay. Anode and cathode. Anybody Google that for me real quick? Which part is the negative? Because I had it in front of me and I don't. I might be able to just look this up really quick. Let me see if I can do that. Hold on a sec. Anode is the longer plus, the cathode is the negative short. Okay, that'll do it. All right, so the longer plus and the negative is short, we just do this. Drop it right in there as close to the board as we can. And then we bend these pins out thusly. Come on, hold in place. Thank you. Okay. This is going to be kind of messy to do. I'm only going to do 2 of these to start, just so I can have enough room. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay. And just for laughs, we're going to put a little bit of rosin on there and see if it helps at all. Because why not? Okay. Tin our tin up, and then just go straight for that, and boom. Yeah, it's already... Okay, that one's good, the other one's not as good. We're gonna have to clean that up a little. Okay, all done there. Not everything's have to be perfect, it's gotta work. Well, unfortunately, it does kind of have to be perfect, because if I did it wrong, then these LEDs will literally explode and light up in smoke. So there is a bad thing that can happen if this is not done correctly. So we gotta be careful. We don't want explodey things, to put it lightly. All right, let's get some rosin on here and we'll reflow this really quick. Whoops. I just dipped my lid in my darn rosin. I have to clean that up because I don't want to touch any of this stuff. There, that's better. Okay, put it over there. Out of my way. Okay. We're just gonna reflow you really quick, please. Okay, good. Beautiful. Much better. Much, much cleaner. All right, and I think these leads will be long enough for me to use for this other side thing that I gotta do in the minute here. Yeah, that seems long enough for that, I think. So we'll set that over there. Just clip this right here, come on. Thank you. Okay. Those cannot be touching. That's a little closer than I would like. Let me see if I can do something about that. Sorry, I'm just going to bend this off screen really quick here so that I can do this on screen. The problems of being one-handed and having to cut things in another direction altogether. Okay, I think that'll take care of that problem. Those are still really close for comfort. Jeez. I think that's okay. All right, got 2 LEDs mounted, more to go. So that rubber mat is burn proof, that is correct. The mat is here to protect things from becoming a problem, essentially. And so it is indeed burn proof. It can withstand temperatures of up to, I believe, 900 Celsius, so it can take a lot, to put it lightly. Let's see if this is going to fit through here really quick. I'm just going to try and do this this jumper that I left out. Let's see if we can't get something long enough to work with it. Is that going to work? That's going to be just long enough, and let's see if we can get the other end on there too. All right. Right about there, maybe? Yeah, a little, right, like a little farther down. Right there. Okay. Oh, right, I want to bend from that side, not. Okay. Hopefully this will do it. I just read 932 Fahrenheit. Okay, that is good. Yeah, that'll work. And I'm going to bend this little guy out so that the jumper will stay in place long enough for me to solder it in place. It's just got to do its one little thing. Okay, that'll hold. Okay. Let's see. I want a colorful mat. I saw someone with a pink marble pattern. That sounds nice. I like that. I'll be honest, I got this one because it was inexpensive. And I just wanted something that would protect the surface of things. Okay, that looks good. Cool. All right, that jumper is solidly in place with a nice little shiny domes going on all over. What is going on there? That looks weird. Hold on a sec. That doesn't look like it should be like that. I'm just going to heat this up really quick again. Tie-dye mat. Oh, is that the actual lead going on with that? Yeah, that's the actual lead. Okay, never mind. Pink marble pattern. Why not just go for pink marble? Hey, Pointy Pirate, how you doing? All right. I mean, pink marble would be a good insulator, I would presume. Doesn't mean it wouldn't work. All right, we're going to throw some more LEDs on here now. I'm going to try and get most of these done here in a jiffy. So we are coming up on 2 hours, and I do want to make sure that my battery doesn't die on things in use. Okay, that's good. Okay, those are holding place. Good. All right, 1 and 2. Oh, this one's got a little bit of a bend going on. Hopefully that's okay. All right, that's fine. Can't find one online. I'll never find this stream again. How? I'm sure that it could be found somewhere. Etsy's always a resource, isn't it? Okay, we've got those. So 2 here, 3 there. We're going to flip this and get this stuff soldered. Nice and easy like here. If I have to use a solid color, I found a twitch one, or a purple twitch one. Nice, okay. Okay. Onward we solder. Okay, oh, there goes my overhead again. Right in the middle of everything. Okay, what are we doing over here? We look okay on the phone. So we're just gonna keep on rocking. Get an old granite benchtop surface, bet I need to dump. Yeah, only problem is granite is heavy. This soldering mat is pretty lightweight silicone. Easy to move around and relocate. So it does have that going for it. Okay. Mats can be magnetic, yes, and I do have some magnetic spots on this one, which is useful for making sure that things don't roll all over the place or disappear on me. Okay. I shouldn't push that one. If it's not going to adhere, it's time to re-tin. Hey, Ted Bear. Smells good. Oh, I'm not inhaling any of this. I do not want to smell it, because it is not healthy for you. All right, we're all done with those joints. Let's go ahead and cut those off. Quick here. All right. All these leads all over the place. I really need a better pair of snips, like I keep saying. Might pick some up this week. We'll see. There is a place on island, if you happen to live on a wall, called IC Supply, located down on Sand Island, which basically carries a lot of these supplies. That's where I went to get a few things, like the, oops, I should close the lid on that, the isopropyl alcohol, the 99% IPA used for cleaning the rosin off of the board. You know, it actually does smell like a freshly painted house. Nice. All right, that's good. And the last one. There we go. Okay. I want to cut that shorter, but I'm not gonna right now. We've got another 3 and 2 LEDs, and then 2 more LEDs on that side. So let's keep on going. All right, positive and negative. Into the thing it goes. And we just bend the leads back so it doesn't come out. Okay. Right, and then these 3 over here. It's been like 20 years since I still remember it very vividly. One of these days, if I decided to buy an apartment at some point, you bet I'll paint over it just for the smell. I, for one, do not terribly care for paint fumes, so if that's your thing, just be careful, okay? All right. Yeah, if I try to do some of these more complex projects down the road, I'm definitely going to need to pick up some no clean flux, because this rosin stuff works, but man, I do not, it is a pain in the butt to keep clean for sure. Okay, here we go. All right, onward we go to the next set of soldering. I will smell responsibly. Okay, as long as you're careful. One, two, boom. Boom. That's really, really clean. All right. Okay, great. 2 more to go. Okay. Time to snip some more leads. Snippity snip snip. Anybody remember that old like Sesame Street song or thing where the one guy at Sesame Street goes to a barber with the longest hair the barber's ever seen, and the barber just goes nuts cutting all the hair off, and eventually finishes cutting all of this poor long hair off of this person, and then all of a sudden they're like, where'd the barber go? You can't find the barber, he's buried underneath all the hair. What is this circuit board? I don't have a slash project, but I will link it online. You can find it on Amazon. It's called Elenco, E-L-E-N-K-O. And you could probably just look it up there. It's like a die 6 thing. That's where I purchased it from. And if I'd have been smart, I would have created some sort of a, affiliate link, but I didn't. So no affiliate links going on here. Sorry, folks. But yeah, you can find it on Amazon. I will show you the kit number in just a moment here once I finish snipping this. So yeah, here is the info. It is the model K28 Pocket Dice Kit. That's what it'll look like when it's supposed to be done, and by the company Elenco. That's all your info right there. Okay, we only have 2 LEDs left to do, so we're going to go ahead and hammer those out. Almost done here with that part. All right. All right, bend you out, and then last one here. And really, after this, the only 3 components I think we have left to solder are the dip switch, the battery attachment, and then the on-off switch. The activator switch, the battery attachment, and the on-off switch. And then we have to mount the actual processors, but that's easy to just push it in, so it's not a super complicated process there. None of those solder points are touching, look like they are from here. So, yeah, you can sort of get a look. None of them are actually touching. They are super close, but they are not actually touching. There are no bridges. And I can check for continuity later, but we're gonna clean this up before we finish here, and we'll make sure. But no, none of them are actually touching. It says H. Yeah, it's a lot of flux is really what you're seeing on there, is the rosin flux that got spread out between everything as I was working on it. All right. Turn this around here to face me. Get my... Don't do that, please. There we go. Okay. Let's get a little bit of solder on there. And then let's go to work. Come on. There you go. Okay, all the LEDs are done. Is this how you reverse the queen? Don't scare me like that. I don't even want to think about the possibility that I'm gonna do something like that. Please, scurry. I just put 2 hours into this. I don't want to find out that I completely screwed up at the last minute and have like a capacitor fry on me or something like that. I'd have to go get a new one. Replacement parts. Okay, so all our LEDs are done. That looks pretty darn good to me. Nothing's touching along there. Everything is close, but nothing is actually physically touching, so we're pretty good there. Let's go ahead and get this big boy on the push button switch. We're gonna put this terminal through there like that, and then we're gonna, I'm surprised they didn't do this slightly differently, but we're gonna bend these out ever so slightly. Let's see if I can't get this closer to the surface mount. Yeah, these are huge leads, so this is kind of weird. All right, there we go. Bent that out a little bit. Come on, there, perfect. All right, so those are bent outwards as much as we can. We can't really change this. Really, ideally, this should be mounted level with this. I'm way out of the, there we go. This should be mounted completely level on the surface with this, but it's not, so we're just gonna have to make do with what we have and how they choose to do it. Is that, yeah, flux capacity polarity reversed. Thanks, that's great. It's all gonna blow up now. 1.21 gigawatts down the drain is exactly what I wanted to have happen. All right, let's go ahead and do this. This is gonna take a lot of solder to heat up and mount. Okay. We're gonna make a wormhole, team wormhole. Oh God. Am I gonna have to put are we gonna make a wormhole or are we gonna make a flux capacitor? Gigawatts of electricity. Okay. Yeah, that's not great. It didn't really flow on all sides of it, so I'm gonna try and get under here and see if we can't heat it some more to really get, hold on here, I don't have enough flux or enough solder. There we go. Let's get under there some more. There we go. Okay, that looks much cleaner. We definitely need more solder on this component as well. So we're gonna try and add some more to the entire pad here. Okay, that looks much, much cleaner than it did. This purpose of this kit is learning to solder. Yeah, it is a put something together, you know. It also is a bit of learning electronics now. So this joint is good here on the where's my tweezers? On the back side right there, but this joint is not. So we're gonna have to add some more solder on the back side of this near joint here real quick. I'm gonna flip this upside down so I can see it a little better as I work on it. We'll try and get some more solder in there. Okay. Both gigawatts and black holes, got it. Duly noted, we'll make it happen. Okay, there we go. Now we've got a nice, shiny, completely on there thing going. So that looks much cleaner. Doesn't seem ideal, that switch. Anything you press should be screwed to the board, not held there by solder. I agree entirely. I didn't design this kit, but that is like one of the couple of flaws that I would have changed. So now we've got nice solder flow on all sides of that puppy, so that is good. All right, we're gonna put the switch on next, which just goes right through there. And we've got some leads. This isn't great either because it's just surface mounted instead of, you know, really held in place well, which is not ideal. We're gonna actually place this one on the tabletop here. Whoops, no, yeah, see, this is gonna be tricky. Because I can't really bend this. There's not a lot of bend on these to hold it in place, which isn't great. Maybe if I, yeah, that's not great either. I don't want to do this upside down. Okay, and I don't really want to hold this while I'm soldering it. I need like a third set of hands in here. Can somebody hook me up with that? Does it come with the explanation of what the chips do? It does. There's a full-on schematic that tells you the full layout of all the transistors inside, which is really cool. So I intend to make good use of that. This is just weirdly done. Why did they... It's tiny, tiny pads and not enough. All right, here's what we're going to try and do. We've got this gigantic switch in the way, which isn't helping. Let's see if we can't just like bolster it in place somehow like that. No, that's not going to work very well. Tape, good idea. Let me find something that I can use to hold this in place really quick. I'll be back in just a jiffy. All right, we are back with some tape. Just let me know that you guys can hear me so that I know that I'm not just talking to the void and thinking that I'm being heard. So I got some tape. I'm just gonna lightly tape this thing onto here. 5x5, thank you very much. Yeah, we're just gonna kind of tape this component on here so that it stays put relatively well enough that we can, oh, that's not gonna work. In the tape, 5x5. Okay, yeah, that'll do long enough for me to solder a joint on there to hold everything in place. So good enough. Let's go ahead and clip that. Whoop, go. What are you doing? Clips, why do you do this to me? Okay, there we go. Oh, goodness, I think I'm getting mosquito bites. That's not good. There are mosquitoes, and my garage door is open, and that is just not good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and tin this up a lot. And we're gonna just go for it. This guy here. Okay, that's good. And then we're gonna do the same thing over here. Come on. Don't be shy. There you go. Okay, that looks good. And we'll get this last one here. Right in the middle. And these are both touching the same pad, so I'm not so worried about like bridging solder joints as I would be. Come on, there we go. Wet that whole thing in there, please. Okay, that looks good to me. Yeah. If only you'd trained a praying mantis to hold the work, that would have been ideal. Why didn't somebody suggest that earlier? Would have been perfect. Thank you also, Cosmic Voyager X, for the follow. I'm sorry I missed that while I was in the midst of assembling things. It's greatly appreciated. Let's go ahead and throw this over here. Don't need our tape anymore at the moment. All right, I think the only thing left, just take a close look at that. Yeah, that looks fine. The only thing left to solder onto the board, and that's our on-off, I don't know which direction is on or off, is our power cable. So let's go ahead and get this set up. And it says black wire, red wire. Red wire to the plus hole, black wire to the minus hole, as shown below. Okay, so we're going to pass both of these through this hole as dictated, like this. And red to the plus, like so. And black to the minus, come on then. Like so. And that should sort of hold in place. More tape. All right, let's bend this out of the way. And I can actually bend these leads a little bit, and that should hold them in place relatively well while I get them soldered. Okay, cool. That should do the job. Let's go ahead and clip this in. I like this to be vertical when I'm soldering like that, whatever. We'll make it work. All right. I can't find any streams dedicated to science and science fiction discussion. I found this channel searching and I need to learn to solder. I want to start science streams. Okay. Are you talking like discussions of science concepts or like you said, sci-fi, which could be a very large number of different topics, potentially. Okay, let's get this over here. No, that didn't. Come on. There we go. Many fields: astronomy, cosmology, quantum physics, space exploration. So you will find some science and tech streams are actually like discussing those sorts of things. I'm pretty sure there's some astronomy streamers on Twitch. It would surprise me if there weren't. All right, I think that's done it. So we've got our battery leads done, plus to plus, minus to minus. I don't know why that's there. That's a really random via to have there. All right, so now all we have to do is we just need to mount these chips in their respective happy little homes. And the chip goes in towards the IC. Solder the IC socket into place, insert the IC into the socket with the notch in the same direction as the notch on the socket. Okay, got it. Follow a few science streams, but not sci-fi. So this just drops straight in here. Nice and easy like, because it's a nice little socket thing we got going there. Come on. Oh, wait, let's make sure it's actually all in the socket before we attempt to push down on it. Oh, okay, yeah. The pins need to be bent inward ever so slightly. Let's just do that by hand, just to help with it going in the receptacles. There we go. All right, cool. And the notch is in the same direction as the notch, so we're good there. Almost. Yeah, there we go. All in. Okay, so if we just push, should just seat right in there, just like that. Okay, so that one is good. And we got to do these two. Microchips be weird. Yeah, microchips are funky. How they work, all the transistors inside. I've actually been watching a lot of YouTube videos recently on how transistors work and how they get built. And there are diagrams that show you how all of the stuff inside of the transistor works and what each pin does, and it's all just hidden inside this little package, which is really, really funky. Okay, let's go ahead and get that in there like that. Come on. Okay, that one's in and solid. Last one. Another topic: quantum computing, paleontology for dinosaurs, freckled science for projects like this. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, cool. Last bit right here. Right? Come on. Towards the notch, right? The notch is on that. Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay, that has done it. I think we've got everything mounted as good as it's going to get. I don't really want to touch the bottom of this really heavily at the moment. But we're done. That's it. Let me grab a battery, which I brought one from upstairs. And let's, here's a moment of truth. Let's see if it works. Well, it's doing something. Oh, okay. So it flashes and then it randomly chooses a number. So 2 and 4, 6 and 6, 5 and 5, 1 and 2. Look at that. It does dice. And we can turn off the overhead so you guys can actually kind of see this pretty well here. A little brighter. We'll turn off the ring light too. There we go. So ideally, I don't think it's supposed to flash as much as it is. So that might be something to look at. But yeah, we got our die roller. 2 and 3. Another 2 and 3. 6 and 4. There it is. That's the whole project. Done and done. Yeah, that flashing is definitely something else, though. Holy cow. Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to flash at all, to be completely honest. And I'm going to have to read some more on how the whole circuit works to figure out whether or not it should flash or it shouldn't flash. And maybe that has to do with, you know, any number of different things. So what we're going to probably do is I'll do this off screen. I'm going to go back and I'm going to clean all the bottom of this up with, oh, you know why? I think I know why. We forgot a jumper. There's a jumper right here that we didn't do. So I bet if we fix that jumper really quick. Come on, taking batteries off is always such a pain. I'm always worried I'm going to break something in the process. Come on, disconnect please. This is always a pain in the butt. Come on. I'm going to need to get in there with some... Dear battery connector, why you gotta be like this? It's not fun. All right, I can't get that last connection off. It just doesn't wanna. So I'm gonna put a piece of tape over it so that it doesn't like connect to the battery real quick. Thank you so much for the subscription, Pontius Pirate. It is greatly appreciated. Your support is amazing and helps me continue to do projects like this on my stream and enjoy your emotes. There are some funky ones on there. The favorite of which is mine is the favorite of which is the other thing. And yes, there is a power switch. I've turned the power off, but I'm just putting an extra protection on there just in case. So we're gonna go ahead and do this one last jumper that I neglected to do real quick. And maybe that will fix the issue with the flashing and make both sides flash or make no sides flash. We'll find that out in just a moment here. And like that, I think that'll do that jumper just fine. Always important to actually do all of the jumpers that are labeled on the board and not just think about, oh, you know, I've got this stuff that I didn't do. It's not that important. Pat, how come you got such nice hands? Hawaii. I'm not even kidding. I don't have to moisturize. It's so humid here all the time that it's just like automatic moisturized hands, you know? Don't even gotta try. So come to Hawaii if you want nicely moisturized hands. Okay, we've got that jumper in place now, so let's go ahead and solder that jumper. Let's go ahead and clip in here and clip in here. And we'll go ahead and solder that in place. I did get a little bit ahead of myself, it's true. I had forgotten that I had missed that one joint of all of the jumpers that needed to be done. Okay, let's go ahead and do that real quick. The emotes are intense. Yes, that is my favorite emote, the camping or the intense emote. We've got some intense action going on here. That is for sure. Okay, there we go. Okay, and we're good there. Okay, let's go ahead and clip those leads. Just like so. I'm going to have some major cleanup after this project. There's just all kinds of mess all over my workstation. Got this whole pile of leads that you can see over here. That's kind of funny. Okay, I think that will hopefully fix our one missing jumper. So that jumper was going between one pin on one processor across to another pin on this processor, and then that affected the timing of the whole thing. So let's see if having fixed that jumper will actually allow us to operate this. And if it's going to flash, or if it's just going to be solid. And yeah, I know there's a power switch, but just prefer to do that. Okay. And now it's still flashing. One of them's flashing, but the other one isn't really. So yeah, I think that's just how it is. You would think it wouldn't flash, right? Like, I'm wondering why one flashes and the other doesn't. 1 and 6, 2 and 5, 3 and 2. Why you gotta be all flashy like that, bro? Regardless, that is a good project, a good amount of work. So now we've got 3 completed projects. We've got our original little blinky guy here with the lights. We've got our rotator hue color, which you can see a lot better if I turn the lights out here real quick. Yeah, okay, you can see that. And I just got a low power battery, so I'm gonna try and wrap this up really quick. And we got red and greens and blues and whatnot on this. So if you rotate it, it lights up pretty cool. Woohoo! Oh, it's all dark. I'm in the dark, I'm scared. Yes, I did do other ones. They are posted to my YouTube channel if you want to watch that. The YouTube channel is linked below my stream underneath, where I export a lot of previous videos of both games that I've played, as well as I'm adding all these soldering streams to that as I work on them. I'm going to have to wrap up here because, like I said, my battery's about to die on my phone, which provides the camera for this stream. Thank you all so much for stopping by, for hanging out, for chatting, and for watching the stream. Please stick around. We're also going to throw a raid out to one of our fellow Twitch Hawaii streamers. So let me go ahead and see who is out there in streaming land. And please give them your love as well, because they are all awesome people. We're all working hard. We're going to go ahead and turn off my soldering iron there so I don't forget to do that. Let's go ahead and give a raid to, let's see here. I'm going to mute this really quick. There we go. You're going to hear me talking to myself. And thank you so much for hanging out, Ted Bear. It's greatly appreciated. Let's raid that cool black dude, who is an awesome Dark Souls streamer, has done some amazing, amazing run-throughs. I will be back on Tuesday for my normal Tuesday night madness with my friends. I'm going to take a look at this circuit and see if we can't figure out why it flickers and maybe learn some more. Maybe I did something wrong. We'll find out. But until next time, take care, stay safe, and as always, aloha.